Tehran shocked. Thousands of U.S. Marines arrive by CH-53 Sea Stallion helicopters in the Middle East. That's the kind of headline that hits your brain like a flashbang. It's loud, it's visual, it sounds real because it names a specific helicopter, and it makes you feel like something massive just changed overnight. But here's the thing. Headlines like this are built to make you picture a movie scene, not to help you understand what's actually plausible. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to do three things for you, fast and clean. I'm going to show you why this specific claim is almost always exaggerated. I'm going to explain what CH-53 helicopters actually do and what they can realistically carry. And I'm going to give you the three signs that tell you whether a U.S. Marine surge is real or just a thumbnail designed to farm adrenaline. And I'll give you the mini payoff right now so you don't have to wait for it. When someone says thousands of Marines arrived by helicopter, the truth is usually this: helicopters don't move wars. Logistics moves wars. If you understand that one line, you'll stop getting emotionally hijacked by dramatic aviation footage. Now, let's rewind one step and ask a simple question. What is this headline trying to make you see in your head? It wants you to imagine dozens of giant helicopters pouring into the region, Marines pouring out, an instant invasion vibe, and Tehran shocked like someone flipped a switch. But real deployments don't happen like that, even rapid ones. And here's the first red flag in the wording: CH-53 Sea Stallion. People use that name like it's one specific helicopter. But CH-53 is a family, and the common heavy-lift Marine helicopter most people mean today is usually the CH-53E Super Stallion, or increasingly, the newer CH-53K King Stallion. The original Sea Stallion label gets used online because it sounds iconic and simple. That doesn't mean the video is fake. It means the caption is often sloppy on purpose, because sloppy captions spread. Now, let's talk about what a CH-53 actually is in real life. It's a heavy-lift helicopter. Think of it like a flying pickup truck with a rotor the size of a house. It's built to move heavy gear, supplies, and troops short to medium distances. It's built to sling load equipment, move people quickly from ship to shore, and support operations where you need a lot of lift fast. But it is not a magic portal. And here's the key number most people never think about. A CH-53, depending on the variant and configuration, carries a few dozen troops in a single lift, not hundreds. So when you hear thousands arrived by CH-53, your brain should instantly do one thing: basic math. If one helicopter carries, say, 30 to 50 Marines per trip, how many trips does it take to move thousands? Let's be conservative. If you move 40 per helicopter, then 1,000 Marines is 25 helicopter loads, 2,000 is 50 loads, 3,000 is 75 loads. Now multiply that by the reality that helicopters don't teleport. They need staging bases, fuel, maintenance, crews, airspace control, and safe corridors. So could helicopters move large numbers of Marines over time? Yes, in waves, in sorties, as part of a larger movement. But the viral image of thousands arriving by helicopter, like a single dramatic swarm, is almost always a storytelling upgrade. And that leads to the first framework you should use whenever you see a headline like this. Separate the visuals from the scale. A single clip of a heavy-lift helicopter landing is visually intense. It feels like a huge event. But a clip doesn't tell you how many helicopters, how many sorties, how many personnel, or what mission. It tells you one thing: a helicopter landed. Everything else is a caption. Now, before we go further, quick question, because I want to see how people interpret this. When you read "thousands arrived," did you picture a full invasion-style surge, or did you picture normal rotational deployments being dramatized? Drop one word in the comments: surge or rotation. Now let's get into what's actually plausible here, because that's the whole point. There are three scenarios that create a headline like this. Scenario 1. Normal movement gets labeled as a shock event. This happens constantly. A unit rotates, equipment moves, helicopters fly, somebody posts it with dramatic music, the caption upgrades it to "Tehran shocked." Scenario 2. Real reinforcement happens, but the method is misrepresented. If the US is reinforcing a region, the vast majority of personnel movement at scale is done by fixed-wing aircraft and sea lift, not by helicopters. Helicopters are usually the last-mile movers. They move Marines from ships to shore, from a base to a forward point, from one location to another nearby. They're not the primary pipeline for thousands across theaters. Scenario 3. A big exercise or routine operation gets recycled as current breaking news. This is another classic. Old footage, training footage, a shipboard exercise, a demonstration, reposted with a new date and a new crisis caption. And people believe it because they don't check the original source. Now, I want to make this even simpler. If you want to know whether a thousands of Marines arrived claim is real, watch for the boring things, because the boring things are the truth. Here are the 3 signs. First sign: sustained, consistent reporting from multiple credible outlets that forces actually surged in a measurable way, not one dramatic clip. Convergence. If this is real at scale, you don't just see it on one channel with dramatic words. You see it in multiple places, with consistent details, because large deployments leave paperwork, statements, and visible patterns. Second sign: infrastructure changes. When large numbers of Marines arrive, you see the support footprint change. More logistics convoys, more staging activity, more visible base posture changes, more sustained tempo. You see the tail, not just the tooth. And third sign: mission clarity. If thousands arrived, for what purpose? To reinforce bases, to evacuate, to conduct raids, to prepare for a contingency, to support air defense, to support maritime security. Big movements usually tie to some narrative about purpose, even if details are limited. If the headline gives you drama but no mission, that's a content move, not an intelligence move. Now, I want to talk about CH-53 helicopters specifically, because this is where the internet loves to weaponize cool hardware. The CH-53 is a real beast. It's designed to carry heavy cargo and lift a serious number of troops compared to smaller helicopters. But the moment someone says, "Arrive by CH-53, ask yourself, arrive from where? From a ship offshore? From a nearby base? From a different airfield? From a training range? Because helicopters have range limits, refueling needs, and maintenance cycles. If you're seeing CH-53s in the region, the more likely reality is that they're operating from amphibious ships or established bases, supporting routine and contingency missions, moving equipment, supporting operations, demonstrating presence. That can be meaningful, but meaningful is not the same thing as thousands just arrived. Now let's talk about why this specific headline is built the way it is. TEHRAN Shocked is emotional framing. It's trying to make you feel like the other side is rattled, surprised, losing control. Thousands of Marines is scale framing. It's meant to feel decisive. CH-53 Sea Stallion is credibility framing. It gives you a specific object so your brain assumes the whole story is specific. That is a classic persuasion stack. Emotion, scale, specificity. And it works, even when the underlying story is thin, because your brain fills in the gaps. So here's the line you should remember: specific hardware doesn't make a vague claim true. Now, let's do a quick reality check about what helicopters are actually used for in marine operations, because this matters. Marine aviation is designed to support expeditionary operations, fast movement, ship to shore, heavy lift, resupply, casualty evacuation, moving gear into places where trucks can't easily go. So CH-53s are absolutely relevant in a tense region. But their role is usually tactical movement, not strategic mass transport. If you're imagining thousands arriving by helicopter, you're imagining helicopters doing the job that transport planes and ships do. And that's where the story becomes suspect. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so is this completely fake? Not necessarily. A story can be exaggerated and still be pointing at something real. So let's be fair and talk about what could be real behind the hype. It's possible that Marine units are repositioning, that amphibious ships are in the area, that aviation assets are active, that exercises are being run, that readiness posture is being emphasized. All of that is plausible. But thousands arrived by CH-53 is usually the wrong description of how that would happen. It's like seeing a forklift at a warehouse and saying, "A million products just arrived by forklift." No, the forklift is the last step. The products arrived by ship, truck, rail, and a whole system behind it. Now let's talk about the most important part of this headline, the implication. The implication is that the US is about to escalate, and this is where I want you to be careful, because escalation talk gets people addicted to fear. A reinforcement doesn't automatically mean a war is about to start. Sometimes it's deterrence, sometimes it's protection, sometimes it's posture, sometimes it's routine, and sometimes it's preparation for multiple contingencies at once. So instead of asking, "Is this the start of war?" ask the smarter question: what problem would these forces solve? Because militaries move to solve problems, protect bases, protect shipping, support partners, evacuate, prepare for a rescue, prepare for defense. Those are different missions with different footprints. Now, I promised you retention and a clear payoff. So here's the tell that separates tourists from people who actually understand deployments. Tourists watch the coolest video. Pros watch the sustainment. If you don't see the sustainment changing, you're probably not seeing a massive new ground reality. You're seeing a clip. Now, let's address one more thing that keeps showing up in these shock headlines: the idea of immediate surprise. If thousands of Marines truly arrived in an operationally meaningful way, it would be felt through multiple channels. You'd see increased public posture, you'd see regional reactions, you'd see official language tightening, you'd see credible reporting converge. You wouldn't need a single dramatic helicopter clip to convince you, because reality doesn't need clickbait to be real. Now, I want to give you a quick checklist you can use the next time you see a headline like this, because it will save you time and sanity. Ask, is the footage clearly geolocated, or is it generic? Ask, is the timing clear, or is it recycled? Ask, does anyone credible corroborate the scale claim? Ask, does the claim match how large movements actually happen? And if the answer is no, treat it as what it most likely is: a content upgrade. Now let's land this cleanly. Could you see CH-53 helicopters operating in the Middle East as part of US Marine posture? Absolutely. Does a clip of CH-53s automatically mean thousands of Marines just arrived and Tehran is shocked? Not by itself. Helicopters are tactical movers. They're loud, they're dramatic, they're perfect for thumbnails. But thousands is a strategic scale claim, and strategic scale claims require strategic evidence, not just cinematic footage. So here's the real takeaway. If you want to stay informed, don't let the loudest clip decide what you believe. Use the boring tests: convergence, sustainment, mission clarity. Because when the US moves at scale, you don't just see the blades spinning, you see the whole machine moving. Now I want your take. Do you think most of these shock deployment headlines are harmless hype, or do you think they're deliberately used to pressure public opinion and manufacture fear? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns like this, where we separate the cinematic story from the plausible reality, subscribe.